Hello students, in the last class I explained about types of forces, right? That is electromagnetic force and gravitational force, contact force, then nuclear force. This is just types of forces, and also remember the basic forces in nature. You studied in physical world also, which are the basic forces in nature. That is electromagnetic force again, gravitational force, strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force. And today's class I will explain. In the last class you have studied about tension force, and today's class I will explain one more important force, that is normal force. Here let us consider a surface, horizontal surface. Upon the horizontal surface you have placed a block. Okay, this is what? Block. So here normal force is nothing but it is also a contact force. Why? Because the force is existing because there is a contact of this block with the surface. In this case what happens? This block pushes the surface, isn't it? That means if I draw the block and the surface separately like this, you can imagine like in previous example, these are the atoms of this block and these are the atoms of the surface, right? Then when the block is placed on this surface, the block compresses the surface. If the block compresses the surface means definitely the atomic distance will decreases. Atomic distance will decreases means this atom, which type of force will develops? Repulsive. This atom will repel, the surface atom will repel this atom in this direction. Like that all the surface atom will repel the block atoms in this direction. Similarly all the block atom will repels the this surface atom in downward direction, right? So remember the tension force means that is pulling force, and here this normal force means that is pushing force. For all this resultant you can able to draw in this direction, a resultant of all the forces. So resultant of all the forces, here also you can draw in this direction. Okay, then this force is called as normal force, represented by N. Why it is called normal force means it acts, it always acts perpendicular to the contact surface. Okay, normal to the contact surface or perpendicular to the contact surface. This arises due to contact, hence it is called as a normal force. Some example I will explain to understand this normal force. Let us consider a block, so here a surface, and let us say there are two blocks. Okay, this is the first block and this is a second block. There are two blocks. So here you are applying some force in this direction. You are applying some force. You are pushing the second block. Then the second block will pushes the first block. So here how to represent the normal forces means, okay, between these two blocks, the second block will apply force on the first block, right? That is in this direction, okay. And this first block also will apply force on the second block. That will be in opposite direction. Why? Because at this contact surface, due to compress, what happens means the atomic distance will decreases. Hence, first block will apply force on the second block atoms in this direction, isn't it? This is the direction of the force applied by block 1 on block 2. Similarly, the second block will apply force on the first block in this direction. These are the normal forces. So this is on contact surface. And next, where is the contact surface means you can see here also. Here also contact surface. So the block will pushes the surface in this direction, right? Because of that, the surface also will apply force on the block. Let us take it as n dash. So here also the block will apply force on the surface, right? The surface also will apply force on the block, normal, that is in this direction, isn't it? So in this way we can able to represent the normal force. Always it acts perpendicular to the surface. I will explain the next concept, that is called Newton's third law of motion. Newton third law of motion. Already you have studied this one. If I ask, everyone will tell, for every action there is a equal and opposite reaction. For every action there is a equal and opposite reaction. This is what? Newton's third law of motion. So let us take an example. This is a object, A body, and this is a B body. Suppose the A body apply force on this B body. Let us take that force FAB. Okay, force applied by A body on B body, FAB. This is called as action, and because of that action, that B body also will apply force on A body. That I will represent FBA. This is called reaction. Okay. That means you have to understand, you know the meaning, but you have to understand some basic characteristics of these Newton's third law of motion. So action, and here there is a reaction. Definitely we can able to say that this force FAB is equal in magnitude, that is equals to FBA, but opposite in direction. And what are the conditions you have to remember here? What are the conditions you have to remember means, this is most important. Always the forces will act on acts on two different bodies or forces will act on two bodies. Hence these forces does not get cancelled. That means this is one force and this is another force acting on the same body, single body. Then if two forces are equal in magnitude, this is 5 Newton, this is 5 Newton means, and they are acting in opposite direction, then that will get cancelled. This will not produce any acceleration in the body. But here the forces are acting on two bodies. Hence here there is a net force. This will move with some acceleration. Here also there is a net force acting. Hence it will move with some acceleration. This is first condition. Okay, these forces does not get cancelled. And this forms action and reaction pairs. Okay, here forces will exist in pairs, that is called action and reaction. Then a single force does not exist. Always it will exist in pairs. And next one, this is very important. Nature of force should be same. Nature of force means this is mass m1, this is mass m2. So between these two masses also there is some force of attraction. This force is called, the force between two masses is called gravitational force, isn't it? And if you have, this is charge plus q1 and here there is a charge minus q1. Between these two charges also, unlike charges, attractive force. Again there is some force between two charges. Here this force is electrostatic force. Okay. Here gravitational force is different, electrostatic force is different. When we can able to consider these third law of motion, that is action reaction pair, means if mass is not, mass cannot apply force on the charge. Why? Because this is gravitational force and electrostatic force. In that cases the nature will different. So in that case it will not form say action and reaction pair. So it should be same nature. Gravitational force means both forces also, that means it will also act gravitational force, this body also act gravitational force. Then we can say nature is same. In that cases it forms action reaction pair. Okay, nature should be same. This is about Newton's third law of motion. If I ask, you will give so many examples for this Newton's third law of motion. So I will give one or two example only. That is first example what I can able to give means person walking on a floor. Okay, it is possible because the person will apply force on the earth in backward direction. So same equal and opposite force the earth will also applied by a person in forward direction. That is one example for Newton's third law of motion. And next another example for Newton's third law of motion means you can consider this is a rocket. Okay, consider this is a rocket and the rocket will apply force on the gases to expel the gas in downward direction, and the gas will apply force on the rocket in upward direction. This is also action reaction pair. This is an example for Newton's third law. And other example means remember this is one a very good example to understand this Newton's third law of motion. So a horizontal table upon the horizontal table a book or a block is placed, and due to weight means what? Remember, weight means force experienced by a body due to contact with surface. Okay, without contact means you will not experience any weight, force. That means here its weight mg will act downwards, okay, where g is acceleration due to gravity. So similarly on this block a normal force will act. The surface is applying force on the block, right, due to contact. Okay, definitely it is at rest. Then I can able to say this n minus mg is equals to 0. Net force is 0. Okay, why? Because it is at rest. I can able to say n is equals to mg. The difference in force, unbalanced force only creates motion. If both are balancing force means acting opposite direction, equal in magnitude means that will not create motion, isn't it? So here the question is, what this n and mg are action reaction pair? What this n and mg are action reaction pairs? So see, I said the forces should act on two different bodies. Okay, the forces should act on two different bodies, but here the force is acting on a single body. This is not action reaction pair. Oh. So when we can able to say action reaction pair means, let us consider an earth. Okay, this is a earth, this is the center of the earth, and you know that any object is placed on the surface of the earth or above the surface of earth at some height. The earth will apply force and it will attract towards the center of the earth. Its mass is m, means acceleration due to gravity is g, means if you place above the earth also its weight become mg, or that means not a very great height. Okay, and here on the surface also if you place the mass, it experiences a weight because it is now in contact, right? It experiences a weight. That weight is mg. I will draw an enlarged diagram. This is the block placed on the surface of the earth. Okay, due to gravitational force, acceleration due to gravity, the weight of the earth, the weight of this mass acting downwards, the earth is attracting that mass. Similarly, this block also apply same force that will act in opposite direction. Here the earth is applying force on the block. In the same way, the block is applying force on the earth. Then one more force is there. This earth surface acting normal force in upward direction. In the similar way, the block is also applying the same normal force in down direction. These two are acting in two different bodies, right? This normal reaction and here this mg weight. So this n and n acting on two different bodies. This is equal in magnitude, opposite direction. These are action reaction pair, but n and mg acting on a single body, that is not action reaction pair. I hope you understood. That means object is falling means the earth is applying force on the object. Similarly, the object also apply force on the earth, but earth will not come upward, right? Why? Because this chalk piece mass is less, inertia is less. Earth mass is very large. To produce acceleration in the earth, that is not possible by the chalk piece. So this is about Newton's third law of motion. After understanding the Newton's third law of motion, next concept, the very important concept, you have to understand free body diagram. You have to understand free body diagram. So shortly we can say FBD. What is the use of this free body diagram? Is to calculate the force, to know the various forces acting on the object while solving problems. This free body diagram is very useful. Then, how to write the free body diagram? Let us consider this is the surface. On this surface there is a block of mass m. First condition, what is first case to first rule to write a free body diagram means select the system or body on which we have to calculate the force, and next select the system or body and free from it by surrounding. Okay, first you have to select the system and next you have to free it from surroundings, means from other bodies. And the next one is identify various forces, external forces. Various external forces acts on it. Then represent the forces, in vector form. If possible, if there is need, show the forces in component form. If there is need, show that forces by taking the coordinate system, that is coordinate axis. Okay, these are the rules for drawing free body diagram. So I took one example here, a surface, and here there is a block of mass m. So my interest is to find the forces acting on this mass, on this block. First what I have to do, I have to separate this system, that body is my system now. I have to separate that system from surrounding, from other bodies, means from surface. So first I will rewrite that same diagram like this. It is now separate from all other bodies. And identify various forces. Now we have to see how many external forces are acting on this object. So what are the external force means? Definitely you know, one weight is acting vertically downwards. Always weight acts vertically downwards. So on the body, the weight is acting vertically downwards, mg. This is one force. And next, on this body, the surface is applying that normal reaction, normal force, right, that normal force is acting upward. So it is at rest, means then I can able to write net force is 0, N minus mg is 0, net force is 0, this is net force. So I can able to write N is equals to mg. In this way we can write the free body diagram. So to understand the free body diagram, one more example I will explain. Listen carefully. That is only one block, right? Now I will consider this is one block and this is the second block. This mass is m1, this mass is m2. These two blocks are placed on the horizontal surface. Now we have to find the forces acting on the blocks. For that, what we have to do? I have to select the system first. So it is not necessary always we have to consider a single body. We can consider this is also a system, but here I am considering this first body is only our system. Then the block I will write here. This is M1, first block, and see how many forces are acting on the block, on this block. Due to its weight, mg, m1g acting downward, and there is contact between first block and second block. That means the second block will apply force, normal force in upward direction. Okay, this is the normal force, right, in upward direction. There is a force acting between this contact. This force is m2 is applying on m1. This force is m1 is applying on m2. That let us take it as n. And again, normal force means at this point, at this contact surface, m2 is applying normal force on the surface is in this direction. The surface is applying normal force on m2 is in this direction. Let us take it as n dash. So similarly, separately I am drawing. This is the force acting on m1 block. And if I see the forces acting on the second block, now this is my system. I will free it from other bodies. Okay, that is first step. Then this is M2. How many forces are acting on M2? So M2G acting downward, and this N dash, the earth surface is applying force on this block. That force is N dash, and also this M1 also applying contact force downward. This N, that N is acting downward, right? The N is acting downward here. So these are the forces acting on the block M2. That means N is acting downward. Weight is also acting downward, and this N dash is acting upward. So this is at rest, means again I can able to write directly N equals M into G. I can balance these forces. Here I can write N1 N dash is equals to N plus M to G, right? Then to find the N dash is equals to N plus N value is M into M1 into G, right? M1 into G I can write plus M2 into G. So this is the normal force value between first and second block, and this is the N dash is the value what? Normal force between second and earth surface. So what is that value? N dash is equals to M1 plus M2 into G. So in this way we can able to use the free body diagram. I hope you understood. Identify forces acting on the objects or bodies. Okay. Then select your system. Like first body, second body. Identify forces acting on the bodies and represent the forces in the vector form. Then do the calculation by applying Newton's second law of motion. Okay. So one homework problem or example problem I will give. Try to solve this problem. I have taken here two bodies, right? Okay. Then what you have to do means consider horizontal surface. This is first mass and this is the mass m1, otherwise let us take m3, and this is the mass m2 and this is the mass m1. So let us take the normal force acting between 3 and this one m1, right? This is m1 and m2 is, let us take n, normal force acting between m1 and m2. The normal force acting between m2 and m3, let us take it as n dash, and normal force acting between m3 and surface, let us take it as n double dash. Find n double dash. Solve this one. You have to get the answer m1 plus m2 plus m3 into g. Okay. So practice this problem. This is about free body diagram. So in the next problems we will apply this concept while solving the problems. And application of that Newton's third law of motion, that is first I will explain. Apparent weight in lift. Apparent weight in lift. So you have also experienced this example in day-to-day life while you are inside the lift, while going upwards with some acceleration. Definitely you will feel some difficulty in walking comparing to when the lift is moving downward. Why? Because your weight appears to change. We will see what happens. So this is let us consider an elevator or lift. A man standing inside the lift. Then first condition, let us take lift is at rest. No net force is acting. So weight of a person, okay, I will consider like this on this body, mg acting downwards. This surface is applying a contact force, that is normal reaction is acting upward. When it is at rest, no net force acting, hence I can write n equals mg equals w, weight of a person. So there is no change in weight, actual weight. So that normal reaction is equals to actual weight. You will stand on the weight measuring instrument, right? What it will measures? That normal reaction only, okay, that is equals to your actual weight. Then The second condition, what is the second condition means? There is a person in the lift is moving upward, or it may move with downward with same velocity, that is the constant velocity. In that case, when it is at rest, there will be no change in apparent change in weight. When it is moving with constant velocity and it is moving with upward or downward, constant velocity means acceleration is 0. Acceleration 0 means again there will be no net force acting on the person or the lift. That is, again I can able to write it as N is equals to M into G. In both the cases, N is equals to actual weight of the person. And next condition, what is the next condition means? A lift, in this lift there is a person, the lift is moving upwards, with acceleration A. In that case you can able to see this is weight of a body, mg acting downwards, normal reaction N acting upwards, here also N acting upwards, but the system is moving upward direction, right? So in this case there is an acceleration A. So which force is greater? N, right? So in that case the N minus mg is equal, that is not equal to 0 now. So difference in the force, that is N is greater, N minus mg is not equal to 0. Why? Because it is moving with some acceleration. The T you can able to write it as net force. Now it is not 0, N minus mg is not 0. That F net I can able to write it as M into A according to Newton's second law of motion. Then the N equals, I can write mg plus ma. N equals, I can write m of g plus a. That means here you can able to see N equals mg, right? Here expression we got N equals mg plus a. That means weight, apparent weight has increased. Apparent weight increased. Here N is not equals to W, N is greater than W, weight of a person, when it is moving upwards with some acceleration. And next case, there is a lift. Inside the lift there is a person and the lift is moving downwards with some acceleration. And in this case, if you write a free body diagram like this, mg acting downwards, N acting upwards, acceleration is downwards. Okay. So here mg like this, N in upward direction, net acceleration, that means acceleration in downwards. Then I can able to write here now mg minus N. Okay, there I written N minus mg, right? Here I have to write mg minus N. Why? Because mg is now greater. That's why it is moving in this direction. Is equals to m into a, and n equals, you can write mg minus ma, or n equals, you can write m of g minus a, and definitely this n is now lesser than weight, g minus a, there g plus a. So when the lift is moving downwards, the apparent weight of a person decreases. And let us assume a condition. So lift means there will be a cable, and suppose the cable breaks or it cuts, then what happens? It is nothing but a freely falling case. If you drop an object, definitely it will fall with the acceleration due to, that means acceleration g, acceleration due to gravity. So in this case, what happens means, if the cable cuts, it will move downward with acceleration, that is g. And in such a case, n equals mg minus a. This a becomes a equals to g, means here I can able to write it as g. Then n equals 0. N equals 0 means the apparent weight becomes 0. Okay, weight nothing but force experienced by a body due to contact surface. Okay, if you are not contact with the surface means, so you will not experience any force, right? So that is the same situation here. If it is falling with some acceleration g downward, and the person feels weightlessness. Okay, thank you.